Hey, this is Emily Mattis. Just wanted to hop on here really quickly and explain a couple of the features that will help you have a smoother Zoom meeting. Um, I'll also share some of the settings that you can put in your profile before you even have the meeting. But this one will just show you what you can do as you're in the meeting. Um, so one of the things that you have as a host is you have this bar down here that will help you kind of control a lot of the situation that's going on in the room. The biggest thing over here is when you click Manage Participants, all of your participants will show up in this section over here. And then you have a couple of controls that you can do over here. You can mute them, unmute them. But if you want to do it for everybody, you should have the mute all feature. And when you click that, it will give you this option. So if you're in a room and you just want to be the presenter, then you want to just unclick allow participants to unmute themselves. That way, you as the host are the only one who can control muting and unmuting of participants in the room. But I'll leave that right now. And then you can unmute everybody. So if you want to give everybody the chance to talk, in a group of adults, that's probably a good idea. In a group of students, maybe not so much a good idea. And then last but not least, you have this more feature over here. And this is going to be really helpful for you as the host of the meeting. So you can choose to, any of these options. Mute participants on entry is a really helpful one. That way, when everyone gets into the room, you don't hear everybody's dog in the background or, other conversations that you maybe don't want to necessarily hear. Once again, you can choose allow participants to unmute themselves and then allow participants to rename themselves. So once again, when you're dealing with students, that might be a good one to check off because we don't know what they might name themselves as well. So those are just a couple of the features that you have there in the host view. So a couple other things here. When you are sharing your screen, which is great, obviously, for, getting a whiteboard or you have something on your computer that you want to share, you'll give this option right here. And this gives you a couple things that you can do. One participant can share at a time, multiple participants can share simultaneously. Once again, probably not a recommended feature for dealing with students. And then if you click on here, it just gives you a couple more options as well, just to make sure one participant and then only the host can share at the same time. So when you click on the green share your screen, you're given these options and it gives you all of your things that you have, that you've already chosen here. If you just wanted a plain whiteboard, that's an easy one to choose from. That'll give you the best kind of option for yourself here. So if you click share, it's given me a whiteboard to write on. And there's a couple more controls that you want to take advantage of here as well. So when I scroll up to the top of my screen, it's giving me a couple different options on what to do here. And here's where I can control those options as well. So if I don't want anybody but me writing on the screen, you can choose disable attendee annotation, and that will not allow them to write on the screen or do anything else. Now, sometimes if you're doing a cool interactive lesson with maybe under 20, 25 students, you want to see who's writing things on there and you want to give them praise and credit for the great idea that they had or something along those ideas. And you can show the name of the annotators on there. So when they start to type on the screen, it'll actually show the name of the student that's typing. Also helpful for things like if they are writing inappropriate things, you can see their name, that type of a thing as well. So just a couple more options that you have for yourself there to give yourself a little bit more control over these things. So if I'm on the whiteboard and I want to switch, I can always click New Share and then go to an iPad or an iPhone, back to my desktop, or if I have, an Excel spreadsheet or something along those lines that I want to switch to, you can do that as well. A couple other things that you want to kind of see here is you can clear the whole thing right here. Oh, let me get rid of this really quickly. Hold on, sorry. If you start writing on here, I'll just write really quickly, and you want to clear it, you have a couple options of clearing just your drawings. If you're doing an interactive thing, once again, that might be useful, or you can clear all drawings on there, and that would be a really good thing to do as well. You can spotlight using a cursor or an arrow, whichever one works for you. There's also kind of controls on there for different stamps and things like that on there. So once again, just a couple cool little features that might help you have a little bit more control over meetings and be able to run things a little bit smoother. If you have any questions, just let me know.